Hey guys, Neff here. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at a staple in the lock sport community, the Assa Twin 6000. I'm pretty excited about this one specifically because it has the old style gin spool drivers. I've got examples of their drivers right here. You can see that here's the two styles. In the older Assa Twin variants, you'll see a gin spool with specific milling for gin spools, and now so it's really fun to find those because they are an older design and something you don't see. I don't even think they produce any locks with these drivers in them anymore. And then the new style, which would be the barrel drivers, which that's what you'll find in almost any Assa high security lock, even the non-sidebar variants like an Assa 600. So thank you to Duck for sending this out to me. This is the first Twin 6000 that I've looked at with gin spool drivers since the first one I ever picked, which is over here. This is the first black belt lock I picked. It had gin spool drivers. I don't think I even did it specifically for the channel. So we'll get this locked up in the vise and see how it goes. And then this one also has gin spool drivers. It's a really nice brass Euro half, and maybe I'll get that one picked for you one day. But today we're doing Duck's lock right here. Let's get her locked up, see how it goes. Alrighty guys, we got her locked up. Here's the tools we're going to be using today. We've got medium hook 20 thousandths, trusty old laser cut deal. We got this small wiper insert for tension. We've got this wiper insert flag for the side pins. I'll show you what makes this lock tough, because it's actually pretty easy as far as these Twin 6Ks go. First pin in here is a max lift, not even really a cut in the key for it. Getting that picked out of the milling is a chore. And being sure that it's picked out of the milling is even worse. So we'll see what we can do. We're going to start from the back, work our way up, and do what we can here. So let's get on number 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. Good click. Going to 5. Good click on 5. Usually 4 will go right along with that. Yeah, there's not much to do on 4. 3 you don't even want to mess with. It is a 0 lift. And 1 is what we're about to hit. It'll give us some core movement. Come on, 1. There we go. Alright, we got that core movement. Now, around this time you would want to start working on your sidebar, and then you would come back and pick stuff out of milling. That is not how this lock works. Even if you try it that way, when you come back to do the milling, the entire sidebar drops anyway. So we're going to try and pick everything out of milling first, then go on to the sidebar and hope that we were correct with everything. Now, the way you do that on a Twin and on many other locks is your jiggle test. So we are tapping on a pin. That was actually a good click on 6. I think I picked it out of the milling. So we're going to tap on that pin. If you can hear that on the speaker, that is the pin going a little bit up and a little bit down. Because it's touching a little bit of the driver that would be pushing on it. And it gets to push a tiny bit up and down. If it's not locked in place and it's doing that jiggle that you can feel and maybe sometimes hear, that means it is picked. If it's locked up and you can't do anything, no jiggle, it needs to be backed off and lifted out of the milling. Alright, we're checking 2. I probably should have done pin 1 because I think that gives me a little bit core movement, a little bit more core movement, and then lets me pick the rest of them out of milling, but we'll see. Alright, 2 feels like it needs picked out. I'm just going to try and do 1. I'm not feeling confident about that. Alright, so 1 is tough. Pick a spot for leverage. I might actually want to switch to like a gem hook because I have had a tough time getting any leverage on it. Alright, here we go. All right, I think we just got it. Feels like a good jiggle test. I'm literally under it going like that because I can't get any leverage any other way. So it feels like we got one. So now we will go back. Usually something drops. We're going to start on 6 again. Good click on 6. A lot of core movement. All right, now we should be able to pick stuff out of milling if there's anything left in. We're on 6. Feels good. Sometimes when I go up here, like on this, and then twist up, it kind of releases the core a little bit more. I don't know if that like picks 3 out of the milling, that 0 lift, or what, but I might try that again. I'm going to do that right now, and we'll see if it does what I saw it do before. Because I would do that, and then I would tilt back to get a pin. Well, whatever it was releasing must already be released, so. But I did hear a bunch of clicks, so I might have just clicked some 4 or 2 out of milling, so. Anyway, all right, that was 5. 5 feels good. Let's check 6 again. I think 6 is good. Oh, no, it was not. Oh, no, that was 5. So that was a good click. We got 5 out of the milling. I still think 6 is good. 5 is good. Let's check 4. I think I've got a good jiggle on 4. Three is actually jiggling, even though I normally leave it alone being a 0 lift. Let's check 2. Two feels like it needs some work done to it. But before we do that, let's double check 1. 1 feels great. Actually, 2 feels pretty good. So I'm going to go really heavy on the tension, and we're going to hope that I'm right about the sidebar. I tried to do this one on camera a couple times, and it's an easy pick off camera in my lap, but I don't know, it hates me once it's on camera. So we're going to pin 3 on the left. 1, 2, 3. It's a max lift, so we're going to get 1, 2, and 3 clicks. I can usually make it give 3 nice clicks, but anyway, that was all 3 clicks. It's maxed out. We're on pin 1. It's pretty close to max lift, so I need a couple more clicks on that one too. There we go. That was 3 dropped a little bit, so I just bumped it back up. 1 and 3 are good. 2 is what we're doing. Whew, that flew up there. Let's make sure I didn't overset it. 1 is good. 2 is good. And if you can hear that on the speaker, that is a much easier jiggle test to hear. That's how you'll check your sidebar pins on something like this. And if the sidebar is truly bit down on it, alright, 4 and 5 should be set. If the sidebar is completely bit down, you'll know. If you can jiggle it, it's set. If you can't do anything to it and it's locked up, it is either overset or underset. So it means you need to do something with it. So, and that was it. Sorry, 2 dropped. I set that while I was talking, and we are open, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy gutted, see what's inside. I'm really excited to see it. Alrighty guys, here's what we got. So, we've got all these gin spools, which, oops, sorry, I'm knocking the camera around. Which here's what we showed you in the beginning of it. And I'll go ahead and grab the plug, and we can see the milling and how that works. I'll have to be careful because I left 4 of the springs from the sidebar pins in there, but I'll just put my thumb under it. Now I've got a light here. Let's see if we can look at the milling. Let me get a hand behind it. There we go. Do you see that edge? Here we go. So it has an edge in there where the edge of that gin spool will get caught, and so it's just basically a little bit wider here, just a little bit for the top of it. So when you pick it, the edge of the gin spool gets caught in there and it stops it from going anywhere. And that's why on a lot of these you'll end up having to float pick or basically offer counter rotation that you physically do yourself in order to get them out, because it does not counter rotate usually and just locks up. So nothing super special in here. I left a couple of springs in there, so I'm not going to tip it down, but there's that. We've got our sidebar, which was, well, I guess you can see it on the key here. It was something like a 42522 or something, 43522, something along those lines. And you can see the edges there. There's our springs, there's our key pins, and that's that. So it was really exciting to do another lock that had gin spools, considering that was the first black belt lock I ever picked, and I'm really excited to jump onto that brass one I showed at the beginning of the video as well, so I'll probably do that eventually for you guys. Thanks again, Duck, for sending this over to me. Any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, guys, I'm happy to hear it. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great night.